He did look a little bit weaker at the start of the year when it came to his matches, but he has been improving. He has been getting back up there. He's been back on that grind, and I want to say that he can threaten Cure as well. I still do give the edge to Cure, but we'll see how this story does unfold as we get into Game 1. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Leylines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from South Korea. It is Creator. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will be the final player to qualify. Again, Bjorn, he was the first player to make it through into the main event. Who is the next? Who is the final player here? It's going to be either another Terran or a Protoss. Who's it going to be? Personally, I mean, looking at the invited players, another Terran would make sense. Only one Terran was invited into the main event, and that was Clem. Clem was the only invite. I mean, it's possible that other Terrans were invited, but they didn't accept the invites. Regardless, Clem is there, but Clem is on his own. I mean, now he's joined by Bjorn, but could do with another player to join him. I believe there are 3 Protoss invites. There's Hero, Max, Pax, and Zaun. I would say arguably those are the top 3 Protoss players in the world right now. Zaun has been looking insane as of late, and I think I would rate him above Showtime and above Classic. So Zaun is definitely on fire. Like he's a hot player right now. And from the side of Zerg, Shin and Solar were invited. We have Shin, we have Solar, and we'll see who will join them. Go. For now, we do have our standard openers, just a Gate, a Cyber Expand out of Creator. Likewise, Cure, Double Gas. Double Gas opener into a faster Factory, into a delayed CC. With this Double Gas opener, Cure, he can go into a 1-1-1, into a faster Banshee play. He can go for a Reaper drop, he can go for a tank drop. Aggression is on the table for Cure. So he does move out. Step out, gonna be zoned away, and it looks like it's gonna be a mine drop here as we're going Widow Mine first. Medevac is on the way, sorry, Starport's on the way, into Medevac, into drop. So we have our initial mine drop setup. Cure pokes in, has yet to confirm the tech. It's gonna be a Senji follow-up, and we ourselves have yet to confirm the tech. There it is. It's gonna be a Robo opener, very safe. Very safe play here by Creator. Going for the Robo. Now, what does a Robo opener entail? This means fast safety immortal, faster observer, can lead into a prison to be somewhat aggressive, but the Reaper does get into the main. It does dive in, gets behind the mineral line, and likewise did see the tech as well, did see the Robo. The Reaper is going to be cleaned up, but alas, got a lot of crucial information. This can also lead into early Colossus production, into a fast defensive Robo, defensive Immortal, into a Bay, into fast Colossus. It's going to be Observer first, and we'll see how Cure responds as he moves out with that drop. Again, he started Widow Mine production very early on. I believe he skipped his Hellion. Yeah, he skipped his Hellion for just early Widow Mines, so he moves out with 3. This is designed to get damage to scouts. Creator, instead of the Bay, instead of the safety Immortal, he goes Robo into Twilight Council. So just, yeah, really safe play here by Creator. It means that he has fast detection, but it also means that now his Twilight Council and his upgrades are going to be delayed. So delayed upgrades here for Creator, just to be more secure. Widow Mine drop comes in, and Creator, he does pull away in time. Whew. Does pull away. And he saves one Widow Mine. Likewise, second Widow Mine borrows in. Oh, he wants the probes. He's chasing them. Will deny some mining time here. Going for the workers. That Creator, he does pull back, but this is so much lost mining time here. It's 3 probe kills. And finally, Creator, he can go back to mining. Go back to mining. There's that safety Immortal. Observer in the main, gets eyes on the setup on the 3-1-1. Confirms tank production. And the Creator, he is going to be opening up Charge. A unique opener here by Creator. Going for a Charge follow-up, not going for Blink. With this, Creator, he's actually going to be pretty well set up here if Cure were to push out. Speaking of, Cure is pushing. So to defend against this, there's going to be the Safety Immortals, already won, and there's going to be Charge lots. Assuming that Charge finishes in time, and assuming that we have Warpins here to work with. As the Observer did see the move out, I believe. At least I hope. Creator not quite in position. Here comes the push. Cure, the goal of this move out is to deny the third. Deny the third base, force a cancel. Creator, he's not set up for this. Yeah, he did miss the move out, and Cure, he has arrived. He wants that third, and he's gonna get it. Tanks are sieged up. Creator out of position. He races back over, and the base is gonna be denied. Massive pickoff. Oof, as there's a cancel. Immortal dives on in. And these tanks should be cleaned up by the Immortal. Yeah, he gets one. He's going to get both. But again, this needed to happen sooner. He needed to save the base, and he didn't. So the damage has been done. This was worth of a Cure. He targets down as many probes as he can. He gets 6 probes in total. Oh my god. He does get 6 workers. Wonderman drop still in the main. Still yet to be activated. And he gets a full scout. He confirms the Colossus production. He gets a free scout into the main as well. Curie sees everything he needs to. And despite the safe opener out of Creator, and we saw how well he cleaned up the army, like again, like he had that army to work with initially. He just didn't know where the army was, didn't know the Cure was pushing. And with that, the pressure's on Creator. Pressure is on. He has to move out. He has to do something across the map. Curie goes for a double drop. So he is vulnerable. Mortal into the main, denies concussive shell. Creator, he does pull away. Nice control. He drops against the army. Cure going for his double drop. He's boosting in. Creator is somewhat in position. There we go, we have the Colossus at the third base. Zealots into the main. And Cure, he commits regardless. It does commit in. This also frees up that Widow Mine. As he trades against the Zealots, he goes for the Colossus, takes a lot of hits. Oh my god, doesn't quite get it. That's a lot of damage done on the Colossus. Thankfully, there is no blink. Medivacs, they get away. Due breakout, does get out, does get away. Wondermine's still in the corner. And coming into the mid-game, Cure has the edge. Typically, the Protoss player wants to be up a base and up in workers and up in economy to have a lead over the tower, to actually maintain themselves against the Terran. Here, Cure is even on bases and he's even on workers plus mules. Cure is ahead. And a lot of that is because he killed the third earlier, because he denied it when it was so close to finishing. Wondermine drops back into the main. Let's go. Scuttling in. Medevac did escape. Wondermine goes down. But coming into the mid-game, that's also why Cure now has a supply lead, and that lead should be getting even greater. Should be getting even larger here. As Cure is building up towards his eventual move out. This time with his main army, this time with Stim and with all of his upgrades. And this push is going to hit like a truck. Now, Creator, he at least has Colossus already. He's got 2, soon to be a Disruptor as well. And there is potential. Oh, sorry, 3 Colossus even, now with the Disruptor. But there's not a lot of support with the army. There's not a lot here to buffer for the Colossus. Creator, he does spot the army, does spot the move out. Creator is aware. Sees the rotation. Creator trying to keep up. Trying to keep up with the movement. Scan reveals the army. And Cure, he doesn't push in. Sees the army, backs off. Zealots, they run into reinforcements. 4th CC on the way. Cure's rotation gets spotted by the probe. Creator is keeping up. So far, so good. He's keeping up with the army movement. It's so important here that Creator replenishes those scouting zealots. Creator moves out with another probe. Does spot the army. Creator, he has to respond. He has to blink. Creator trying to keep up. Drop comes in. And Madvax will shut this down. Sorry, Stalkers will shut this down. Nice defense by Creator. He keeps up. Does keep up. Dark Templar gets revealed. More DTs moving out towards bottom right. Anyway, Sims in, takes Nova to the face. It does take a Nova. Takes down one of the Colossus though. Force fields are buying a lot of time, but there's just not much support here. Yeah, the Vikings, they go for the chase. They go for the Colossus. Nova doesn't connect. And Cure, he's running out of bio here. He's running out of steam. DTs, they do warp in to defend. There's a scan, but Creator holds. Creator, he does hold on, cleans up the Vikings. Cell drop across the map, does distract. We'll get a couple of SCVs. Creator, he's holding on. Oh my god, not just holding, getting 9 up to 10 SCV kills, 11! 11 SCVs going down. Creator, what did he lose though? He lost almost every Colossus. He's down to 1. 1 Colossus left. He's got 3 Disruptors. Here he has to pull away. Has to pull back. Building up those Disruptors. Cure establishing his 4th base. Creator attempting a 5th. The Observer does spot the army. And despite that, yeah, Creator, he won't be able to save it. Doesn't save the expansion. He just doesn't have enough. Like, even though he saw the army rotating, he just doesn't have enough to defend. It's not quite in position. So Creator, he's contained on 4 bases, now taking the center expansion. Cure now getting to Ghosts, building up more Vikings. No Liberators yet. We're still building up towards that. Towards all the freedom. Getting there. Likewise, both armies are maxed out. Creator, he's now built up towards 4, soon to be 5 Disruptors. A pretty decent Disruptor count here. And this next fight could still go either way. Like, with all these Disruptors, depending on the Novas, depending on the connections, Creator, he can take this. Despite the advantages that Cure has had, Creator, he has at least, reached that 200 supply. Creator stims in, goes to the mineral line, Nova goes up. So far, no major connection. D's in the MP. Nice splits against the Novas, but ooh, big connection towards the south. Yeah, big connection coming in from the south side. The base is going to fall, but Creator, he wants to take the fight. He's going for the army. Massive connections. Yeah, he does flank Cure, and Cure is going to be shut down. Cure bleeds out the entire bio army, takes down the mineral line, but Cure, now it's time to counterattack. Now it's time. Sorry, Creator. God damn it. It's time to counterattack. The Protoss is pushing. Curie's in trouble. Took a lot of Novas to the face. And speaking of, there are plenty more Novas that came from. Creator is going for the kill. One good fight is all he needed. And Cure needs time to build up. The Vikings do fall. Novas, they zone the army away. Another base is going to be going down. And Cure just can't engage. He just cannot engage into the main army. Not with all these Disruptors. Creator, you can just keep pushing in. That's the MP. Never goes off. Gets a Colossus. Does get a Colossus. Base forced to lift. Impressive here that Cure is holding on. He's defending. He's holding on for now. Has to evacuate the command center though. Does have to evacuate. Building on more ghosts. Now stuck on 3 bases. Creator, he just keeps pushing. Spots the army. Oof. Catches transferring workers. Another desynchronization, gets a ghost. Ghost goes down. Creator, I'm sure he's tempted. I'm sure he's tempted to go into the main, but he won't quite take the bait. Pulls back, plays it safe. He pulls back, he rotates. Now the next target's going to be the planetary, that center expansion. We're trying to keep up. We have how many disruptors? 4. So 4 disruptors so far. Honestly, not too many. Now getting a 3rd robo. Every Nova counts. Oof. Ghosts are exposed. Decent EMP. Disruptors, they lead the charge. Decent Novas. Nice spread there from those ghosts. They take down the disruptors and they force a recall. Yeah, better fight here for Cure. Shuts down the disruptors. And now it's time for the Terran to counterattack. Now we gotta go. We gotta send it. Better fights again. Creator, he was very trigger happy. He blew out. He just sent out 3 Novas at once. And he only had 4. So Curie breaks out at the same time. Zelrambai does catch reinforcements. But the base is going to go down. Sims in, takes out the Nexus. So not a bad pick-off here. Curie's still in this game. We have comparable armies. As Curie's pushing in, he wants another expansion. And Creator, he's completely out of position, by the way. He was here towards the south side instead. And that's going to be 1, 2, that's going to be 3 bases going down. He's going for the base raid. He's going for the base raid. Creator, he just ignores the main army. He will lose 3 expansions and 2 mineral lines. And Cure, I mean, he's in a good position here. I mean, when it comes to the base raid, he will get all the workers, catch the mineral line, lose another expansion. And Creator, he's going to keep going. So does Cure. There he goes off. Cure, I mean, he's still far away from the main. Creator pushing in. Oh, Novas, they don't connect. Uh-oh. Okay, they do not connect. Disruptor's going to be going down. There are some Dark Templar forging out scans. Creator now pushing in towards that main base, takes down the natural. Likewise, Creator losing his 3rd, his 4th, his 5th. But Cure, he doesn't push towards the main. Meanwhile, Creator is going for the production. Goes to the production, denies the Metavax. Cure just going for fringe bases. And he's coming back home. Yeah, Curie's racing back home to defend. Does have reinforcements. He's got a decent amount of bio in the main base. Oh my god, takes down an Archon. Scans, takes down the Archons, trades against the Dark Templar. It's a long road back home. He's stimming back. Vikings, they catch out the Colossus, but there's only the one. Takes out the Immortal Vikings, they land, and nice EMPs. Ugh, it's still a rough fight though. Again, Cure only fighting with half his army. The other half is still coming. And Curie's overstimmed. Reinforcements have arrived. And it looks like Cure, he should barely have enough. Gets another disruptor. He is overstimmed though. He's still overstimmed. He stims in. Takes out the Archons, down to a handful of Stalkers. And the Marauders, they should win this. They should take this fight. And just barely. It was close. Again, we barely have an army left. But Creator, he will lose everything. He'll lose everything here across the map. And what does Creator have left? Nothing. GG gets called, and Cure, he will win out the base raid. He races back home, shuts down the army, and Cure takes the lead. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. A very intense game. Cure initially was in a good position. Remember, he killed the 3rd. He was able to snipe the 3rd base. He was able to gain map control. He was able to just bully Creator and force him to be defensive. And then Cure took a bad fight. Cure, he took some massive Novas to the face. I'm referring to the fight at the center expansion, at the center 4th base, where Cure, he stimmed up the ramp, he killed the expansion, but we saw Creator engulf the army, come in from multiple flanks, and almost get a full surround and clean everything up. It was after that fight, the creator, he was able to counterattack, he was able to knock down bases, able to deny expansions, and then we had a back and forth. Then we had a back and forth, of course. It was still very close, very clutch. In the end, creator was outpositioned. It was a little bit odd, if you remember, where initially, before the base trade began, Cure, he was in a rough position. He was losing bases, losing his economy. He pushed in towards the center. He killed that center expansion once again. Creator, he saw that army and he didn't react to it. He stayed towards the southern bases because those were his fresh bases. So it looks like he wasn't really expecting Cure to keep going. He was like, oh, sure, he kills the base, but I'll just defend my south side. And Cure just kept going, and Creator, he was like, oh, he was like, oh no, and then he had to make a rough decision to go for the base trade. It was a late decision as well, and GG, well played, crazy game. And now we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Frostline, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss from South Korea. It is Creator. Here we go. Look like a throw. I don't know if I would put it that clear-cut, just because Creator was in a better position before the base trade, but I wouldn't say that it was like an insurmountable position. I don't think it was like far enough ahead to be like, oh, like he like clearly through there. I will say that Creator, he did misjudge the army of Cure, as I was trying to emphasize. Cure, when he pushed in towards that center base, Creator, he chose not to react to it. It did look like he was assuming that Cure would rotate towards the southern bases instead, and that's why Creator would be ready for him. But Cure, he didn't. He just kept pushing towards the top side, and he got 3 bases for free. It was crazy. And then, of course, we had the base trade, but again, it was a late kind of base trade as a result. So a really rough position there for Creator. And with that, GG. With that, GG well played. For the first time this series, single gas opener out of Cure, going for a Rax into expansion, a much more economic start instead from our Terran player. Meanwhile, Creator, back at home, going for a standard opener. But again, really nice back and forth. Initially, Cure had a lead in that last game, then Creator took that lead, and then Cure took it, so very back and forth. As we settle it. Este Kashim Shema, Papi Shema. Good to see you. Always good to see you. Big shout to Kashim. A pillar of the Polish community. Always. Oh. As we do have our opener, Creator this time going for a Twilight Council. As a reminder, last game it was a Robo opener out of Creator, and he went for the initial Observer into Delayed Charge. I mean, that led into... Creator losing his third, if you remember. Again, there was just so much that happened in the last game. there was so many layers of that game. But this time, much more standard. This time, standard opener, going for Twilight Council. Going for the Twilight Council. I wish I had to lay Chrononauts as well. Peanut Butter Jesus. Ah. I see the word Peanut Butter Jesus, and I just my mind goes to just an image of like Jesus made of peanut butter, and now I get hungry. Now what? Oh no, oh no, not like this. Peanut butter isn't really too big here in Australia, is what I will say. It's not too big. We use it in cooking. I know, like, PB and J is like a big thing in the Americas, but we don't even call it. We call it marmalade here in Australia. I think it's similar to like the UK. Like we have marmalade, we have like preservatives. Like jelly here is like gelatin. It's like you know, the thing that you put in the fridge that like they eat like a dessert. Like that's jelly for us. It's almost non-existent in Poland. Ah, okay. Yeah. It's not really it's not too big of a thing here. Peanut butter, I mean. have to make some jelly. Ah, let's go. But now though, we're settling in. We are going to be settling in. We have our third base on the way. Again, Blink base opener, 2-gate Blink into a third. Very economic build here by Creator. Jelly is a dessert. Marmalade doesn't really exist here because we have jam, which is much sweeter. Yeah, true. We have jam. We have jam and marmalade. Both technically different from each other. But yes. As we do have Cure getting into his third. Just winding it back here. Again, sorry, economic opener. It was just an economic opener out of Creator being a little bit greedy here, going 2-gate Blink, followed by a massive gateway. Oh my god, wait, what? Going for a massive gateway explosion. This is usually coinciding with Charge, but Charge is going to be delayed for Creator. There we go, now starting up. So a bit of a later Charge timing here from Creator. No Forge, which is a little bit confusing. Typically, we go Charge into Forge into +1 into a +1 timing, but that's not quite the case for Creator. He's got his own build going on here. Again, these sentries are a little bit telling that he plans on going for an all-in. When I say all-in, Creator, yes, he's on a 3-base economy, but he's bleeding out probes, and I don't think Creator really plans on getting a 4th base. I think this is also why there's no Forge and there's no upgrades, because Creator, he's not really thinking further ahead. He's not really thinking about his longevity on this game. He wants to go for one big move out. I'm assuming, never mind, starts at the bay. Starts at the bay, there we go, late Forge. If Creator was planning on going for an attack, now the plans are thrown out. The plans are out the window. The mass gateway explosion, not really going to come into play. We have a prism designed to go into the main. He's going for it. Going into the main base. Kira doesn't spot this just now. These are slow. Remember, Charge was delayed. It was late Charge. The slow get dropped in, and Kira defends. Kira does defend the main. And now Creator, he needs to tech up. We need a 4th base. 4th base now being taken. This is a bit of a later 4th, but it's on the way. We're getting there. In the end, this gateway explosion never came into play. From here, we can now take gases. We're currently on 3, but now we can work towards Colossus, work towards Charge, +1. We're getting into the mid-game, but I would say the Creator's in a more shaky position here, and we'll see if he can stabilize. There's still potential, right? The Prism. I was going to say there's potential for the Prism to get damage done, but the Prism goes down, and it forces a recall. Cure, he defends. He's looking solid here. He's secure on 3 bases. Zealot run-bys have potential, of course. Zealot's ready here for a run-by towards the 3rd. The Cure is pushing. Cure, he is breaking out. We see Creator trying to keep up. Zealots say do hit the mineral line, not bad. They get a couple of SCVs. Cure, he's out of position. Mining is denied. 3rd base forced to lift even. As Cure, he doesn't want to turn around. Doesn't want to turn around. Losing another SCV. As Cure is pushing. But he's moving into a mass amount of Zealots. Tank is unsieged. Tank goes down. Nice catch here. Nice force. Oh my, the force field. It looks down the Marauders. Yeah, better engagement for Creator. Much better start to the fight. Takes down Marauders, takes down the tank. Zealots is ready for a surround. Yeah, coming in from both angles. And Curie has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull out. And looks like he should be able to. Yeah, missile goes off. Does take a stand. And Curie, he'll race back home. Back at home is building up more Marauders, more Vikings. It's a very intense moment, and Creator, he almost lost, Curie, he almost lost everything. Creator holds. Creator, he holds on, getting his 4th base up and running, building up more upgrades. Ghost Academy is now on the way. We're getting into a longer game. Okay, we're getting there. Despite the chaotic start that we've had, calming things down, we have more Dark Templar warping in. As DTs, they fan out across the map. What's that Vegemite? So get wrecked to everyone else. I've still never had Vegemite. One day, one day. I think the scary thing about like trying something like that is that you have to like, you know, buy a jar of it. And that means that if you don't enjoy it, then you're like you're just stuck with a jar of Vegemite. Like like the commitment is there. Like you gotta finish it at that point, right? Like I don't know. Found this tiny ones like travel packets. True, you can, but like you say travel packets, usually like plural, right? You don't buy like an individual packet. It's like a bunch of little ones that you buy together, typically. But maybe we'll try it at some point. I feel like I missed my opportunity because remember we had that bet, and in the end, Asher he lost the bet and he had to eat like Vegemite with ice cream, like in an ice cream sandwich, and he liked it. He liked it. I can't even remember what the bet was about. I think it was regarding maybe like Terran or something. Like I think he was expecting like Zerg to win EWC or something like that. I don't know. Well, something like that. I can't remember the details, but Asher he did eat Vegemite with ice cream on stream. That happened. He hated it so much he started to like it. Exactly. He went through like all the stages of grief, you know? Like, the desperation, the loss, the sadness, then eventually the acceptance, and then the joy. Oh god. Oh no. He ate it all. Este Asher. But it was like bread with Vegemite and then ice cream on it. It's yeah. Ah no. For now though, both armies have maxed out. Creator now up to 5 bases. We do see Cure going for his first engage in quite some time. Does poke in. Last back at home is pretty well secure. Never goes off. No major connection. Nice missile goes off. Gets one of the Colossus. And breaks the expansion. The expansion is going to go down. We spoke about this before, but here on Frostline, these bases are just so spread out and so isolated. It's very difficult to keep up with these rotations. And very difficult to defend. Curie does confirm the northern base. That's the 5th. As the stake falls alongside the mineral line. And we can see Cure throwing down just a wall of sensor towers. Again, like, this is what you have to do here if you want to defend your bases on this map. Just throws down all the sensor towers, walling up, planetaries, more CCs, bunkers. Expanding behind his army. So we'll keep on pushing. Meanwhile, Liberation has arrived, making 4 libs at a time, a Liberator range, 2 more starports. We have a nuke on the way as well. Let's go. Nuke is in production. Cure going full late game. And Creator, he's 1 step behind. Just now throwing down the fleet beacon for Skytoss. Oh. Nice splits. Avoids the Novas. Again, that Skytoss transition does feel a little bit late. Another missile goes off. These Novas, he gets 1, goes towards the end, but so far they just haven't been connecting. Have not been ideal. Here, bullying Creator back. And currently, Creator, he has no good answer to those Liberators. He's got a couple of Stalkers, that is true, but ideally you'd want to get into Tempest production. So far, only 1 Stargate. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just the 1 Stargate. Exclamation mark Asher Purge. Este Asher. Again, Asher, he's surpassed us all. He's now free from the surge. Oh my god, he's going for the nuke. Does he doesn't notice. No, he doesn't see. Oh, okay, he just never goes off. No, he misses. Does miss. Nuke will connect. Whew. Does pull away in time. That was very close. Oh my god. Creator, calm down, Bobby, calm down. I was gonna say that that Asher, he is what's the word I'm looking for? He has, there we go, transcended. He's transcended, and he did uninstall StarCraft a long time ago, so that's why Asher is no longer casting. He's free from the clutches of StarCraft. No. He's in a better place now. As nukes, they continue. Creator, he does notice, does pull away in time. He's free from the smurge. ZTs, they do bust into the natural, getting 5 SCV kills. Not bad. It's 5 workers, distracts Cure at the same time Creator pushes in. But we have a line of turrets now. Center Tower's Liberation is set up. And Creator, he cannot push into this, not with a ground army. I mean, only 3 lives for the time being. A lot of Vikings. And eventually Curie is going to start pushing towards the bases with these center towers, with these turrets. For now, just very secure bases. Rombite comes in. It's never free. True. Never completely free. Always with us. Meanwhile, Creator, he's pushing right down mid. He's like weaving through all these center towers, going right through the center. Cure at the same time, base trade, goes for the expansion, knocks down the southern base, and Creator, he commits. At this point, like, there's no turning back. The base goes down, the Curie's gonna stim in, he's gonna keep on pushing. And the problem here is that there are so many planetaries. There's the recall. I was about to say that it would just take too long to base trade. There's just so many planetaries back at home. Do you get a partial recall? Nervous go off. Big connections. The Curie does take the Nervous to the face. Oh, and another as well. Jesus Christ. Does take all the Nervous. And Creator holds. Creator, he holds. He does turn back around to defend. But Curie still did take down an expansion. Now Creator, he can just focus on this push. He does reinforce. And Cure, he did plummet in supply. Needs time to build up. Sets up his freedom. Oh, Jesus. Creator has to rotate. He cannot push into the natural. Moving towards the fort. Once again, Liberators are set. Stalkers, they push in. He gets 1 lib. Takes on 1. And Cure, he's zoned away. That's what's important here. He's zoned away from his bases. Creator going for bottom left. He will bring down the planetary. Nice Novas, nice connections. So nice movement here from Creator. Just zoning Cure out. Cure, how many Vikings does he have? 16! Oh, he takes a massive storm to the face. 16 Vikings. It's like he's preemptively ready for Skytoss and Tempest. He got there too. He's too soon. The Vikings were premature, but a little bit premature. As the ground army is actually gaining ground, going for another Nexus. Liberators are set. As another planetary falls, alongside 23 SCVs. And again, these 16 Vikings, they're hurting Cure more than anything. As it means that, I mean, his Liberator count is going to be that much smaller. The Liberators, they get left behind. They do fall. Creator, he rotates. Does rotate over. As they turn away. Cure trying to break out. But again, he's pushing out into the open. We have a concave set up here from Creator. He's getting ready for a surround. And Cure, he's breaking out. Does find an opening. Never goes off. Takes down all the ghosts. The ghosts are falling, and Cure, he will lose this army. At the same time, though, the Vikings, they land. Let's go. Vikings, they land. They come in from behind. Disruptors do fall. And Cure, he will clean everything up. Takes down the Stalkers. Takes down the Disruptors. Oh, God. Massive storm on the libs. Jesus. Liberator Camp gets reset, but the Vikings, they start to step in. Let's go. They're waddling in. Cure, he takes the fight. So I'll say Warp in. The Fire Colossus goes down. Vikings, they can land once again, and they will. And they actually don't trade too poorly against Stalkers. Like, they trade quite well against the Gateway Army. Get a very messy fight. Cure, he holds. Scans, sees the creators double expanding. These are late expansions. They're not up yet. Cure, he wants them. TMP takes down the Nexus. And Cure, he might just keep pushing. Creator, he has no splash damage. He has 0 Colossus. He's got 2 Disruptors so far. He's got 2 Disruptors and a Gateway Army. If the Novas don't connect, then Cure, he will overwhelm. He's moving in. First Nova goes off. There's 1 Nova left. There's that second Nova. Takes down 2 Ghosts. Not bad, but there's just a Sea of Terran. Yeah, Sea of Bio. He just stems in, the boys are being pulled, and Cure, he has enough. He has enough, he overwhelms, takes down all the probes, takes down the Stalkers, and Creator cannot sustain these losses. GG gets called. Cure, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Cure. He will take a lead. Again, a very, very intense game. Went to the late game as well. I mean, the map was almost completely cut in half. We saw that Cure did overcommit into Mass Viking a little bit too soon, but hey, you can land the Vikings. True. He was able to reset the Colossus, end up landing the Vikings, got a better surround on the Protoss army instead. We saw that Creator, he did overstep when it came to pushing into Liberators. He did lose a lot of his army in those Liberation zones when it came to that final fight outside of the southern 4th base. We saw that even though Creator, he was setting up a surround, he didn't surround the army. He pushed into Liberators. He lost far too much in the process, lost all of his Disruptors, and Cure took a better fight. Did take a better fight in the end, and with that, Cure, he does take a 2-0 lead, and Cure needs one more game here to qualify for the main event. Needs one more here to take it all. Here we go. Here we go, we're getting into game 3, potentially the final game of the series. I'm hoping that we can make a series out of this and we can get a game 4 and get a game 5. Again, all of these games have been very back and forth, but the pressure is now on the Protoss as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have our blue Terran player. We have our blue Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, or the red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless. Down in the series, we'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Creator. Here we go. Here we go. We are going to be settling in, and we have seen our players take different approaches so far. As a reminder, game 1, Creator went for a robo opener into charge, into like a weird start to the game with Immortal Sentry Archon. Game 2, we saw 2-gate blink into a 3rd, so a more greedy build at a Creator on Frostline. Meanwhile, Cure has also mixed it up, and we're seeing it again here. Single gas. Single gas means a Rax into CC on the low ground. Economic build out of Cure is going to be an economic opener. So we're slowing things down. And welcome on to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. It is a smaller map, but is very defendable. There are certain features here, like the destructible tower to knock this down and to fully wall this area off. Likewise, a choke point coming into the 4th base as well, or basically both 3rd locations are more defendable. A lot of choke points, a lot of ramps. And as a result, we do often see split map scenario here. We often see a little late game on Ultra Love, just because of how defensive you can be on this map. Is denied. I believe Creator did see the command center. Yeah, did see the timing of the CC, so he knows about the economic start. Creator knows he can cut some corners here and slow things down. Is once again a Twilight Council opener. I will see how many gateways Creator throws down. Does it go 2-gate blink, 3-gate blink, or 4-gate blink stalker? See how economic or how aggressive he wants to be. He is searching for proxies, making sure there's no starport, making sure there's no shenanigans, and our 1-1-1 is back at her for cure. Just getting to a starport follow-up. From here, he is going into Reactor Hellion. Okay, so Reactor Hellion initially just for scanning purposes, then into Widow Mines, going for his mine drop. Okay, so the mine drop is on the horizon here for cure. Likewise, Creator, he throws down his 2nd gateway, so for the time being, just 2-gate blink. Secure, he's getting up to 4 Widow Mines, actually. Okay. Building up to 4. So going to be a little more committed this time. Now, what's scary about this quadruple mine drop is that as the defending player, you don't know how many Widow Mines are in there. So a lot of Terran players will actually fake it out and make it look like they unload 2 or even 3 Widow Mines and make it look like that's all they had, and then sneak in with that final Widow Mine to try to catch the defending player off guard. We'll see how... Actually, he's going for the wall. Yeah, he's going for the wall instead. He's going to create an opening, and the Hellies, they can dive in. Mine just going up. Ooh, they take down the Adepts. Stalker as well. And Hellies are going for the Mineron, they're going for the probes. But alas, they're a little bit too low. Yeah, the HP is too low on the Hellions. They're going to be cleaned up, and Creator, he should defend. He should be able to defend. Bleeds out a lot of gateway units, but doesn't take any meaningful damage here, or nothing too great. As it settles, it was 2 probes, 2 Adepts, and 1 Stalker, so manageable losses here for Creator. He holds well. It was 3-gate blink. Now into a 3rd base, into an expansion. We see Creator attempting a counterattack. Oh! Runs into the Widow Mine. Has to be careful. As he will... Well, his blink is done. Just in time. Baits out the mine shots. 2nd Widow Mine does hide. Does... Oh no! He's going to be found out though. Does attempt to scuttle away. But will fall, and Creator is getting ready for a blink into the main. Now in the main base, we do have our tank in position. There's a bunker on the low ground, there's 1 tank on the high ground. Nice SimCity fully walling this area up. And Creator, he can attempt to dive, but it's not going to be easy, not in the main. Creator was EC. Does see the add-ons. Spots the 2 tanks. Yeah, he knows he cannot push into the main base. Rotates over towards the Nashua instead. So does Cure. Boys are being pulled. Oh, Prism gets caught out. Yeah, brutal catch here. The Prism will barely escape. Whew. Prism does get away. But Cure defends well. He keeps up. He defends well. Likewise, auto charge into the main. Creator, he's just trying to contain his opponent at this point, now taking a 3rd base. Now, Creator's 3rd base is delayed because he had to go for extra warp-ins, and it wasn't really worth it for Creator, so Again, the third is a little bit later. Now taking up into Storm, into High Templar, in towards the mid game. This time no Colossus, Storm instead. It's going to be Storm into charge. Likewise Cure getting his own third. And from here we're building up. Alright, building up. As Curie, he will eventually break out. Does get one Stalker in the process. Not bad. Takes down a Stalker. Takes his third. Likewise, Creator looking for a way in. Peels off a couple of Storms. A couple of High Templar. Let's go. Storm drop into the mineral line. Cure, does he respond in time? Storms are coming in. Gets one, gets two. And the SCVs get low, and there we go. Final Storm takes down 7 SCVs, not bad. Does land that third Storm. Not a bad start. You can see how low the SCVs are. And Creator pulls away, doesn't lose a single High Templar. Again, you don't see Storm drops too often. Love to see it. Meanwhile, Cure, he breaks out, trying to counterattack. Storms are ready defensively. Medevac goes down. Gets one, gets two. Better engage. Oh, a Storm on the Bio Army. And brutal Storms. Tank, I believe, is under the turret, or under the tower, so has to be careful. Cure, he breaks out, and he does deny the fourth at least. Fourth is denied. More Storms coming in. Cure's getting within range of the natural. Going for the gateways. Likewise, Creator trying to get a better angle of attack. Potentially coming in from behind. As he will collapse in. The Marines ready to respond. Massive Storm on the bio. Yeah, nice Storm. And with the help of that Storm, a Creator, he should have enough. Yeah, he gets on top of the tanks, and he will clean this up. Takes down all the tanks, takes down the Marines. He will lose everything here, dropping into the main base, but alas, there's plenty of Stalkers in position. Takes down a full medevac. Probes are falling to the auto turrets, but now it's time to counterattack. Creator, he has momentum, shuts down the main army. Back at home, what do we have to defend? A handful of units. There's some Ghosts, there's some Marauders, but no tanks. And Cure, he's vulnerable. He needs a little bit more time. Cure's still trying to build up. Creator, he wants to go for the kill. There's no bunkers. Nice EMP. EMP on the Zealots. There's soon to be one Storm. Yeah, Curie just evacuates. He just gives up on the expansion. Oof. Has to pull some of the boys. Cure barely holding on. And just trying to pull away. And the Storms are building up. Never mind. Morphs in the Archon. Morphs in the Archon. Cure, he breaks out. He wants to fight. Re-expanding. Retaking his third. Oh, rough trade there for the Stalkers. That was what, 2-3 Stalkers going down. Missile goes off on the Archons. We have confirmation there's 2 Storms, one on each High Templar. There's 2 Storms for the main army, and Cure, he holds. He holds, he defends, he gets his third base up and running. Very clutch defense here by Cure. It was not easy. He's got a 4th CC behind this. Whew. And Cure survives. Cure, he survives. Creator takes top left, gets his 4th base. Very intense moment, very intense defense here from Cure. He makes it, he survives. Now we're building up, getting into more Vikings. Colossus production has begun for the Protoss. Getting into Colossus alongside Storm. So 2 forms of splash damage. He still has those 2 High Templar in the Prism. Still does have them. He breaks out. He wants the fourth. A fourth that's not quite here. Oh, Prism goes down. It takes out the War Prism. Nice EMP. No more storms. Uh-oh. Yeah, no storms left. EMP does catch out the Archons. And the Colossus. Yeah, rough fight there for Creator. As he's down to 0 storms. 0 High Templars, 0 storms left. He lost everything in that fight. Kira's arm is looking a little bit scary here. Especially with only having 1 Colossus. Sorry, 2. 2 Colossus, 1 Disruptor. Disruptor comes out. Nice snipe on the Vikings. And Kira overextends the Vikings. Dusts him in. Never goes off. Massive connection. Takes down 3 of those ghosts. Creator, he takes the fight. Kira took the Nova to the face. Is now on the run. Throughout all this, what's the most important thing here is that Kira, remember, his goal is to deny the 4th. He doesn't know. He hasn't seen the 4th base yet. He's not aware of top left. Meanwhile, massive EMPs on the Archons. Oh my god, the Archons, they melt! Yeah, better concave here from Kira, collapsing on the Colossus. Vikings moving in. 1 Colossus goes down. Storms are coming in. But Creator, he's running out of steam here. He's running out of Zealots. High Templar gets caught. He's down to 1 High Templar. And he'll bleed out the Colossus. Oof, there's that final storm. Not a bad storm. But he will lose every high-tech unit down to a handful of Stalkers. But again, Kira, he never scattered top left. Despite that, still better fight, better trade for Kira. Creator taking his 5th base. Kira kites back, he pulls the boys. Boys are pulled just in time. He protects his bio. And Creator's hurting. Creator, he's hurting. Again, it takes quite some time to replenish that kind of army. To replace Disruptors, to replace Colossus. It's not easy. Mercury scans, looking for the army. He rotates towards top left again. I mean, through the power of deduction. He knows that there must be a base here. So he has confirmation. At this point, I wouldn't have been opposed to him pushing towards the 5th, just to at least deny that. EMP goes off in the charge lots. Nova catches a ghost. Cure, where do we head? What do we pressure? This is met by all those disruptors. There we go. 5th CC's on the way. Cure taking another expansion. Rotates over towards the 5th base of Creator. There's nothing quite in position. Uh-oh. Yeah, Curie's pushing in. And he does slip into the mineral line. Creator, he's not ready for this. The mineral line goes down. Massive pickoff. Creator, he commits. No. Creator, he is committed. He has to break through. So while Vikings, they kite back. Ghost's going to be going down. There's that 1 disruptor. He's forced into the all-in. At the same time, Curie pushes towards the natural as well. He just came with the production, killing everything across the map. It's all or nothing for Creator. He has to, yeah, he cannot recall, not anymore. He's losing everything. He has to commit. He has to keep going. The army is cornered, but it lifts. He bursts away. Oh, the medevacs don't go down. Yeah, Curie gets out of there. We'll lose a 4th base, but it doesn't matter. There's the recall. We're gonna recall back into the main base, not towards the 3rd, which means the 3rd goes down. The recall does nothing. Another expansion falls. And the longer this goes on, the better it's gonna be for Cure. As Cure, he's gonna be cleaned up. But Cure, he's on 3 CCs. Did he not have a 4th? Not quite. Okay, so he's on 3 bases against the 1 base Protoss. 1 base, top left. Top left is the 1 mining base for Creator. But Creator, he still has a good army. True. Still got 2 Colossus, still got the Disruptor. That's still a hefty army here for Creator. He can still win this. It's coming together. Nova goes off. Doesn't connect. But there might just be enough zealots here. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are buying time. Colossus is going to be going down. Stalkers, they take a bad fight here. The Stalkers do fall as well. And Cure, he takes the fight. He shuts down the army. The Zealots, they were tied up by the SCVs. And the Stalkers, they fought head on with the Marauders. They lose everything. GG gets called. Cure, he takes the fight. And Cure will win the series 3-0, qualifying for the Rex March Madness. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Honestly, I was favoring Creator in that final fight. He had a massive army, but it was just a really rough engagement there. Again, the boys were pulled from Cure just in time to buffer for the SCVs. To buffer for the Zealots. So the Zealots were doing nothing. They were killing SCVs. And the Stalkers, they all fell to the Marauders. It was a head-on fight. Stalker versus Marauder. The Stalkers, they crumbled. Vikings dealt with the Colossus. Everything just, it all lined up for Cure. Cure, he had the best fight possible in those final moments. He just completely shut down the army. GG, well played. In the end, Cure does take it. He takes a 3-0. Congratulations. Congratulations here. Cure qualifies. And we have our final lineup of players. We have our final lineup here. Let's switch our scenes over and catch up. Yeah, 3-3. He did have 3-3. Did have 3-3. Still a better engage from Cure. Again, I would say that if Creator was able to kind of ball up his army and attack together, that we could have seen a better engage there out of Creator. But again, he was kind of split up in the worst way possible there. Very unfortunate, just a very rough final fight there for Creator. But with that, we can catch up. Not on the schedule, on Momento. We can catch up on the lineup here. Again, groups are going to be announced soon, TM. So look forward to that. As here we go. Okay. Here we go. Bam. From the top, actually, let me just clean this up a little bit. We have our invited players. Welcome one and all to the Rex March Madness. This is I don't know if this is going to be a monthly event or maybe just a one-off. For whatever reason, Rex, he did decide to host this event here for the month of March. So big shout out to Rex. Again, Rex is a good friend of the channel. Fun fact, Rex, he's even a patron. I don't know if you look at the scrolling list of patrons, Rex is there. So again, big shout out to Rex. He's a good friend of the channel and also a fellow supporter of the CranKy Ducklings. So thank you so much. Shout out to Rex. But alas, here we have our invites. We have 3 Protosses. We have, I would argue, the best Protosses in the world right now. We have Hero, we have MaxPax, and we have Zaun. So we have our 3 Protoss players here are invited. For Terran, we had Clem. Clem was invited. Again, best player in the world, reigning world champion. And for Zerg, we have Shin and Solar. Shin and Solar invited as well. So we did have our 6 invites, and we have our 2 qualified players, Bjorn and Cure. So in the end, we have 3 Protoss, 3 Terran, and 2 Zerg. So we have a nice distribution, I will say, when it comes to our lineup, when it comes to our players. Again, this was the only qualifier that we just covered, and it was Bjorn and Cure to make it through. And this leads us into the group stage. Okay, starting next week, we have Group A, we have Group B, and we have the playoffs. Throughout the course of March, this event is going to play out on Wednesdays. Bear that in mind. So we do have our Wednesday slots covered or full of some Rex March Madness. Next week is going to be Group A, followed by Group B. It's going to be 2 days. 2 days in a row, Wednesday and Thursday, Group A and B for the Rex March Madness. Likewise, next week, or the week after that, we have the playoffs. So for the next 2 weeks, we have the rest of the event. I'm sure groups will eventually be announced. It's a little bit too early to have too many predictions when it comes to how the event is going to play out. As is typically the case with a lot of these events, I do favor Clem. Clem, he's the favorite player coming into this. We'll see if anyone can bring him down. We have seen in recent times Cure, I want to say in the last week, he defeated Clem twice in TvP. So Cure, he has some deadly TvP and he can threaten Clem. Likewise, Hero and MaxPax and Zaun, all 3 of them have beaten Clem in the last month. They've all taken Clem down in series, so I do want to say that they can threaten him. And if you were here this week, I believe, this week in the Monday Night Weekly, Solar, he had a crazy performance against Clem in the Monday Night Weekly. He did actually defeat Clem, did defeat him in the finals, or maybe it was the semifinals, but Solar, he was this week's champion, and was he the champion, or did he have just a... Yeah, he was a champion, and he had a crazy result bringing Clem down. So again, there are players here that can threaten Clem. I would still say that Clem is the favorite player, but it's been great to see our players have a lot of growth. I didn't actually get to see those solo matches, I'll be honest. I didn't get to see them because I was asleep at the time. So I'm really curious what those ZVTs were looking like. I'm really curious because Solar historically has struggled in ZVT, and we've been casting Solar recently, and again, he's been struggling. He's been struggling a lot against Terran. So to see to see Solar, at least results-wise, defeat Clem, I'm curious how he played, especially because that week, or this week, we casted Solar in the Water TV Monday, and over the weekend as well, and he was doing pure all-ins. Like, Solar, he was purely all-inning everyone. So I wonder if that's what happened in his series against Clem, or if something else happened. Also, another factor there is, of course, the map pool is a little bit different, and maybe, you know, Solo was able to make use of that as well. Hard to say. So I'm excited to potentially see that rematch. Shin, I would say Shin is maybe the weakest link right now. Shin had a really strong December and January. Like, Shin was looking very good at the start of the year. But coming in towards the end of January, Shin was less active. He took a bit of a step back, and Shin, his results suffered as a result as well, where Shin was struggling a little bit more where otherwise he was thriving, like earlier in December and January. So Shin has been having more mixed results. He is always an X factor. Like, Shin, he's very unique as a player. He's very aggressive, and he often plays his own style at times. So again, I do think that a lot of his matches is going to be fun, but I do think that he is going to be maybe struggling, depending on the group, of course, depending on the group itself. We'll see how the groups shape out. So best of luck to all the players. Best of luck, as that is going to be next week. The group stage is next week, and the playoffs are the week after, just as a heads up. And again, you can have a look at the Wikipedia page yourself over on Wikipedia through the command in the chat. Through that command. I think we should change Clem because we know he won't play TvT. I mean, he won't. We know that, yes. Is he the final race? Is that what you're saying? Maybe. But with that, we have the rest of our weekly schedule here. We just wrapped up with the Rex March Madness. We're going to be live tomorrow. That's going to be at 9 AM KST. That's going to be at 11 AM AEST. That is going to be in, what, 8 hours? Sorry, 9 hours. So in 9 hours time, we're going to be live with the Tenacious Total Tussle. That is our bi-weekly Open Cup. So do tune into that. It's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure. We get regulars like Zaun, like Bjorn, like Shin even. So they are typically regulars in our tournaments. So do tune into that event. Again, that's going to be in 9 hours. Meanwhile, in the evening, we have the Kung Fu Cup StarCraft Evolution Edition. Kung Fu Cup has made its return as a kind of weekly event. Basically, we have Kung Fu Cup, SC Evolution. Next week is Warcraft 3 Evolution, and then they alternate back and forth. So this week it's going to be StarCraft Evolution, going to be a lot of fun. So do tune into that. That's going to be tomorrow evening in less than 24 hours. We have Uthermal CV2 Circuit broadcast on Friday. We have the Pongcast on Saturday, and we have Host Masters and STC on Sunday. So plenty of content on the channel. Do tune in if you want to watch some StarCraft. Follow us or check out our VODs. If you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live because of your time zone, then check out our VODs on YouTube, as VODs are uploaded on a daily basis. It's all on YouTube. You can check it out there. Thank you. With that, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Big shout out to Rex, of course, for organizing, for hosting, and for casting the event as well. So big shout out to Rex. And we'll see you guys in 9 hours or tomorrow, whenever we happen to see you, with some more StarCraft. You can also follow us, !socials in the chat. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Kick, TikTok, all things CranKy Ducklings. You can support us on Patreon as well. Our Patreon is set up to fund our tournaments. 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards specifically our events: Sea Duckling Open, Masters 1 Open, and Sparkling Tunic Cup. Bam! You can see them right here before you. These are 3 events that are funded via Patreon, and we are so close to our next goal. Currently, we have reached the goal where STC, Sparkling Tuna Cup, the prize pool is boosted. So we have successfully boosted the prize pool, and now STC is next month, I should say, for the month of April, is going to be paying out top 4 players. The next goal, though, is to boost the prize pool for our amateur events. Duckling Open is a tournament for Diamond players. Masters 1 Open is a tournament for Masters players. Again, we do love to support and to help out the amateur scene, give them a reason to compete, give them a reason to improve, to level up, and to even strive for becoming a GM and becoming a pro player. We have a lot of examples of players that have played in our events in years past that are now a little bit more known in the scene. Players like Mixu, we casted Mixu when he was Diamond, Baby Marine back when he was Masters. This was like back in 2018, 2017, 2019. Players like Oreo, players like Starduck, players like Ruichi as well. And there are a couple of others that are kind of passing. Oh, GG Machine, true, GG Machine. We must have casted him back when he was like 10 years old, now that I think about it. Jesus. But GG Machine as well, again, from many years ago. A lot of the players, a lot of the more younger up-and-coming players, you know, they were once playing in our tournaments back in the day, so really cool to see them grow and thrive and get that kind of like competitive drive that kind of kept going. It's not like everyone that plays in our tournaments becomes a GM and becomes pro, but there are a couple of examples. There are like a couple of diamonds in the rough, and yeah, that's the purpose of our tournaments, is to give players a reason to want to improve, to want to level up. So yeah, you can help support our tournaments if you wish via Patreon. You can help support the community. Otherwise, thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. With that, we are going to be wrapping up. And yeah, we'll see you guys in 9 hours or so. Until then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. Take care. Hydrate your hydras, papi. Hydrate all of your hydras. See you next time.